Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, hanging out with you where sports truly meets that thing called life. It's hour 2 of our broadcast today, and we're doing things a little bit differently this week because we got a giant special coming up with Symir Torrance from the court that he played on, and I am honored and privileged that he gave me this idea that I had, that he was good with it, and that him and I were able to put this together and do this. I want to thank his coach. I want to thank the Syracuse Academy of Sciences in general for opening up their doors literally and figuratively to us to do this show the way that I wanted to do it. So we have an amazing special coming up for you tomorrow. That's why we did the annoying moment of the week in the first part of the show, as well as lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver, and the top dog of the week. They were all today instead of their typical Friday because of our special with Symir Torrance tomorrow. So very excited to share that with you, and so excited to have Papa Joe here, as always, for hour number 2. PJ and I have the opportunity to speak on the world of sports all the time, and I am so privileged and honored and blessed to have not only PJ and MT and Joey in my life, but the fact that, PJ, talk about having an idea and somebody going along with it. I asked him to come on the show years ago, and I said, hey, will you come on the show? I think it would be great. And he said, you want me to come on and talk about what? And I said, well, we'll talk about football. And we talked about football, and then I asked him to come on again, and he said, yeah, I'll come on again. And then, I asked him if he wanted to do it a little bit more often, and, then we did the NFL season, and then we started to include college football, and then it just branched out to being baseball and to being something year-round. And all of the shows that we've done, I've lost track of how many it is at this point. It just means the world to me. To me, it's a time capsule with somebody that I love dearly, and it gives me an opportunity to share with you one of the best minds that I've been around and one of the kindest hearts. So with that being said, I welcome the man of the hour into the broadcast. PJ, how we doing?
Good morning, Daniel. Thank you for those accolades.
Absolutely.
Very much.
Very proud to bring those to you. You deserve them very much so. PJ is here with us, and he is going to carry us through the final hour of today's show. We're going to speak on the LPGA, the PGA, as well as Major League Baseball, and the fact that today is draft day. And, of course, as you all know, the draft is going to be carried in a unique way in central and upstate New York. If you would like to be a part of what it's like to be on draft night, if you want to get a feel for being in a headquarters, for being in a room where you get to really feel like you're a part of a show instead of just watching a show, you can join us tonight at Pizza Man Pub. For the 3rd year in a row, we will be on stage at 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville giving our live first round mock draft. Al Romano, who won a national championship with Tony Dorsett with the University of Pittsburgh, will be joining me tonight, Thursday, April 25th at 6 p.m. We'll start at 6. The draft is at 8. We'll be done before the draft, and we'll lead you right into it. So do what you got to do today. Hang out with the kids. Spend some time taking a jog, taking a walk, going to work, whatever you got going on for the day. At 6 o'clock, you got dinner time with Al Romano and myself at Pizza Man. We will do our first round mock draft, telling you who we predict to go pick 1 through 32. Al will give his, I will give mine. We'll talk back and forth about it, have some fun, have some laughs, off the rails with Al as always, and then we'll lead you right into the draft. So if you want to experience the NFL draft where you can physically touch it, be a part of it, and be around it, come out to Pizza Man tonight, shake hands with us, sit down, get some pizza and wings, and let's have a good time. PJ and I are going to be discussing the draft and everything else that we talked about here this morning as a lead-in to what's going to happen tonight at Pizza Man. So with that being said, PJ, I want to start with How about that? PJ and the PGA. How about that? So I want to jump into the LPGA as well as the PGA and speak about these two incredible talents that we're seeing right now. Nelly Korda has won 5 in a row, and we look at her incredible work and what she's done. 5 straight events Nelly Korda has won in the LPGA. And then on the other side of it, Scotty Scheffler has won 4 of 5 events. And I'd love to get your thoughts on it, PJ, as we are seeing Nelly and Scotty really just take a stronghold of the world of golf professionally.
Oh, yeah. Well, I like most all sports. I try to remember and cover a lot of them. And golf is one of them. I mean, because I used to play for several years and frankly was quite good at it. But, physically you can't do it anymore. But these kids, and they're kids, they're in their mid-20s. I mean, Nelly Korda comes from a family of athletes. You can't believe it. Her sister Jessica Korda played on the tour for a while. She's injured. I don't know if she's ever going to come back or not. But they come from a sports family. Peter Korda was a tennis player for years. So the genes are there. And if you ever tried to play an individual sport, it's you and your mind. And this is what these people overcome when they're on a course. Of course, the course is difficult. You got to play each shot. You got to play each hole. You got to look and see where you're going. This is all stroke events most of the time. There's a few match play events in there, which are fun. But stroke play, you're trying to take care of the ball, and you're trying to get the little ball in the hole and the fewest number of shots. Nelly Korda has a beautiful, beautiful swing. She's tall, she's lanky, she's got a long backswing, and she just crushes it. I mean, this lady's a player. I mean, if you can win 5 tournaments in a row against the best golfers in the world, you're extraordinary. Now, you got to remember that the Koreans came over here 10 years ago with C. Ray Pak, and they have an influx of wonderfully talented Korean players. Half of them don't speak English, which grinds my ass, but they're great strikers of the ball, and they get the ball on a hole. Nelly Korda, I think, has been watching these kids. She's much bigger than a normal Korean player, and she's longer. She just moves the ball around the course easily, and she's a good putter. She's got a good short game. There's so many ways that you have to practice for golf. You got to be able to grip the club, got to be able to drive the ball straight, got to hit your irons purely, got to be able to chip and putt around the green to get the ball in the hole. So, and she's marvelous. I mean, to watch her swing, it's just like Nancy Lopez years ago, or maybe Annika Stormson years ago. And the other side of the barn here is Scotty Scheffler. Now, we all go back to the days of Tiger Woods and all these Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus and these guys. No one, and I mean no one, has struck the ball better than Scotty Scheffler. He is as pure as can be. He is the best player overall since Tiger Woods was his best years ago. I mean, we're talking years ago, 20 years ago. No one has come close to Scotty Scheffler. His mind is incredible. He's got a good caddy. He's got a very useful swing. Not a beautiful swing, but a really nice, compact swing. He's a big, tall guy, about 6'3", moves the ball well, drives the ball long. You got to do that in the PGA and the LPGA. You got to hit the ball long. He hits the ball long. Par 5s are nothing to him. Sometimes I equate that when they're on a golf course, which is not terribly hard. Normally, the par 5s you can hit in 2 and you got to putt for an eagle. Scotty Scheffler plays at a 68 instead of a 72. The 68 are the other holes, the par 4s and the par 3s that he has to play. If he's playing a regular course, forget about it. He's probably going to birdie all, if not most, of the par 5s every single round because he hits the ball so pure. he doesn't have a weakness. Maybe his weakness is putting a little bit. Sometimes he inside of 10 feet he yanks the ball a little bit, but he can get the ball in the hole. I mean, that's the name of it. I mean, years ago when Georgia Spieth was at his best, he's fallen off the wagon. Justin Thomas is falling off the wagon also. You see Scotty Scheffler coming up. He's only 27, and he's got a long career. I just hope he holds the swing together. And he next time you watch him play, I mean, you can see him. I turn him on every time I can. I realized that, last year when he was playing his best, I think to myself and Joe, I said, hey, this kid looks like he's something. And Joe says, he's be all right. He said, no one's better than Tiger. And I said, well, we'll see. Well, here we are, and he's better than Tiger. He's better than Tiger now, of course. Everyone's better than Tiger because Tiger can't do anything right anymore. So you watch these two professionals excel at their game. Now, Scotty Scheffler has got to play against more top-flight players than Nelly Korda does because there's not that many LPGA touring pros. Scotty Scheffler has a break, though, in the United States because of the new LIV tour, which took away some of our players, and they're going over there to play for a lot more money. Now, I don't want to – his accomplishments can't be tarnished because these guys play everywhere. John Ram and a few of these other guys that went over there, Brooks Koepka, these guys are major winners. Now, he's not playing against those guys now because they went to the Road Network. So he's still playing super golf. He's got to play against 100 guys at least every week before the cut. The cut usually comes down to about 60 guys. And he's got to put it together for the last two rounds to win it all. I would like to see him play against the other guys that are in the LIV tour, but the PGA is having a serious identity problem now because they can't compete with the LIV right now, purse-wise. Talent-wise, they're better than the LIV. Scotty Scheffler is the best that we have right now, and he's playing better than anyone else in the world right now. That's including the LIV tour. There's a young player over there named Taylor Gooch, Gooch, who won 3 tournaments last year with the LIV. Hey, it's hard to do. Now, if he came over here, I'm not sure he could do that. If Scotty went over there, yeah, he could do that. So kudos to Nelly Korda and Scott Scheffler. These are extraordinary people, and it is awful hard to win golf tournaments. I won a couple of small events when I was playing really well, and I've had a couple of rounds, I've had a couple of 70s. I never could crack 69 or anything like that, but I did win a few minor tournaments as an amateur against zero competition. But the way these people strike the ball and get the ball in a hole, it's monumental, and it's a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, it's been incredible to see what they've done, and anytime you win, I remember, growing up as a kid, and I still feel this way at 38 years old, when you win one LPGA event, one PGA event, big, small, doesn't matter. When you win it, I'm like, wow, that person must be really, really good. And then when you see Nelly Korda's won 5 in a row in the LPGA and Scotty Scheffler's won 4 out of 5, and we look at the fact that he's won the last 2 Masters, it's absolutely amazing to see this. And, growing up, it was Tiger Woods, and there were moments, rest in peace, Payne Stewart and Phil Mickelson. And, of course, Arnold Palmer before that and Jack Nicklaus and so on and so forth. But when you look at the here and now, what Scotty Scheffler and Nelly Korda are doing, this is history in the making. These are huge moments in the making. There's only 3 women that have ever won 5 in a row. And Nelly's now the 3rd to do that, and she's doing it here in the modern era right in front of our eyes. And then with Scotty Scheffler, and you look at the fact of, him winning his Masters the way that he has and winning, 2 of the last 3, and, what that means historically and how rare it is to put on the green jacket once, let alone twice in back-to-back years. There's a lot to be said about this, and a lot to be said about watching history in the making. PJ, when I mentioned the Jack Nicklaus and the Arnold Palmer and the Tiger Woods and all those names, you watched a lot of this. To see Nelly and Scotty now making history, what does that do in through your eyes? With all the history that you've seen, now that we have a man and a woman leading golf and making history in this moment as it's happening, people talk about history all the time, and they didn't see Jack Nicklaus, they didn't see Arnold Palmer, they didn't see, Tiger when Tiger was in his prime, but they're seeing this now. What does this do for you? What is this moment in golf? What does it mean to you comparative to everything that you've seen?
Well, the individual statistics are remarkable for these kids. The best player I ever saw was Jack Nicklaus, and I still think he was the best player before Tiger. He came and did an exhibition at Daytona Beach when I was there. And we have a couple of small, not really short, but sort of short golf courses that I did really well on, and he just killed it. I mean, watching his swing, and he was only in his mid-30s then, but getting back to Scotty Scheffler, you're looking at remarkable statistics when you watch Nelly Korda and Scotty Scheffler. I mentioned that Scheffler, every time he comes to a course, he's always thinking 68 because there's 4 par 5s that he can usually birdie. Well, his scoring average this year is 67.5. 67.5 on every course, which is the average course is a par 72. He's got 10 shots, 12 shots against these guys already, and their minds getting a little quicker, and they're saying, I can't keep up with Scheffler. He hits the ball too well, Well, Tiger Woods was a boon for golf when he was playing. Him being a blended person with a Taiwanese, I think she's Chinese, mother. He brought a lot of foreign people into the game, and certainly the African Americans. But these, you have to practice hours and hours and days and days and days to do what these people are doing. If you want to stand behind Scotty Scheffler and watch him hit 10 balls, every ball was exactly perfect when he hits it. He could draw it a little bit, he could fade it a little bit, but it's pure. That's what I mean by pure. Nelly Korda is the same way. You don't get this by overnight. You get this by playing and practicing years, months and years. A lot of these guys, of course, go to college over here, the foreign ones. They get scholarships over here and play good, and they can get the tour money. Golf is so hard. It's like bowling is a different deal. You only got 10 frames, But hey, golf most of the time is 72 holes. You got to be able to get par or better on 72 holes. That's 18 holes a day. You better be in shape. You better have your mind well. You better be rested. You better be hydrated. So not easy, especially in the summer months coming up. It's hard. And caddies are one of the most important people of a tour player because they have everything necessary for the player. The little candy bars they have to have, maybe a bag of chips, certainly water or a drink or something like that. Pull it out of their bag and they're ready to go. So it's great to watch. I'm thrilled. I'm disappointed Nelly's going to take some time off, and Scotty Scheffler's taking some time off too because his wife's having a baby. And I think the next time he'll play would probably be the PGA, probably in mid-May somewhere. I can't remember the date. If you get a chance to watch these people swing, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I equate this with horse racing. When I like to see dominant people coming up, and I want to see dominant horses, dominant trainers, and that's why I watch and visit New York Racing Association so much. With their spring meets and summer meets coming up pretty soon, you're going to see a lot of big trainers and horses back in action. So kudos to everyone. If you get a chance to watch these two players play, do it.
Yeah, incredible players in the game doing amazing things. Shout out to Nelly Corda, who we spoke about going into this week, as well as a shout out to Scotty Scheffler, who we talked about last week and then we talked about again this week for everything that he's been doing. So a lot of great stuff coming up here in the golf world, and the weather hopefully being good for you wherever you are, that you can go out and golf yourself, or if you're like me, you mini golf, and that has made me a good putter. So I will say mini golf has definitely taught me how to have a good closing game. I always tell people, if we're playing captain and crew, I'm your Mariano Rivera. Get me to the green, we'll be fine. So a lot of great stuff going on in the golf world, and love connecting with my dad on that, connecting with Papa Joe, and connecting with Brendan Murphy earlier this week, and all of you that love golf so very much. PJ, we're going to jump into baseball in just a moment here. We'll take a look around it. We're going to take a quick step aside. When we come back, PJ and I will jump to the baseball world and then NFL draft in just a little bit here, where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the Whole Frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge, and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item, available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jim Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday Thursday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there. And of course, you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100. And also find them on myavocollis.com. That's myAVICOLLIS.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here with us Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And we are, of course, here on a Thursday with Papa J, and we have talked about the golf world, and we went from those beautiful greens now to the field of dreams when we're talking about baseball. And PJ and I are every single week letting you know what's going on in the baseball world. And I will defer to Papa Joe. I'll give some thoughts after he does. PJ, your thoughts on what's going on in baseball right now? What do you want to share with us?
Well, I'll just go through the standings real quick and go through the stats. This season's starting to shake down a little bit now. I think you can see some of the dominant teams putting a run together. But first things first, let's go with the American League. Excuse me. The Yankees are leading the East. They're 17-8. They got a half a game over the Baltimore, which is 16-8. Baltimore, we remember last year, surprised everyone by almost going all the way. The last 10 games, they're 8-2. They're starting to put it together too. The Yankees were a surprise. I mean, I'm surprised at the Yankees. Because I didn't think they had it this year with Garrett Cole being hurt. Aaron Judge can't hit his weight. Neither can Mike Stanton. So they're putting it together with the younger guys, and it's neat to watch. In the Central Division, that the Cleveland Guardians are 17-7. Kansas City is 15-10. Cleveland's won 8 out of their last 10 games. Now, they didn't figure this year. As a matter of fact, you know the way I feel about the Central Division. None of these teams are very good at all. We're very good at all. Cleveland's really playing well. Their pitching and hitting is identical. Great. It's also sad to see the Chicago White Sox in last place. They're 3-21. Try figuring that one out.
Yeah.
In the West, we got the Texas Rangers are 13-12 leading division. A terrible division this year. Seattle's 12-12. The Angels are 10-15. Angels have only won 3 games in the last 10. They can't hit their weight. I'm disappointed. National League, you got the Atlanta Braves are 17-6, leading everything. 9-1 their last 10 games. They're just too good. They got pitching and hitting. They should really draw away from this field really, really quickly too. But Philadelphia will stay close. They're 15-10 this year. They got an excellent hitting team. They got a couple of hard knock pitchers and Wheeler and Nola. So they're going to try to stay with Atlanta, but Atlanta's just got too much. The Central Division, you got my Brewers at 15-8. A good big surprise there too because they traded one of the best pitchers in the American League away to Baltimore, of all people. The Cubs are 15-9. Cincinnati's 14-10. Milwaukee is as good as they can pitch. Their hitting is fair. If their pitching is good, they'll carry it a long way. You got the West. You got the Dodgers at 15-11. A little bit of a surprise there. 5-5 their last 10. San Diego's 14-13. Everyone else is far behind. Their Diamondbacks are 12-14, but they're only 3 games out.
Yeah.
Dodgers are not playing up to their capabilities, folks. They're not pitching or hitting well, except for Mookie Betts and Ohtani. They're carrying the team, and without them, they'd probably be 12-12. So they need a lot to pick up. Individual standings here. We're going to go through the American League first. Ohtani's leading the league at 371. I also tell you that whoever's leading the American League in home runs is a very familiar figure. It's Mike Trout. People, he's not dead. He's hitting very well, but he's hitting 10 home runs this year. He's not hitting 250. Now he's in the leadoff spot because Anthony Rendon wimped out, can't play. He's on the disabled list. Mike Trout, the best player in baseball in the last 10 years, is leading off. That's how desperate Los Angeles is. They have no one else behind him, and he's going to see some better pitches. He doesn't have a lot of RBIs because they're not going to pitch to him with men on base. So go figure, people. Go figure. Marcell Ozuna has 9 home runs in the National League. And the National League has some really, really good hitters, especially Atlanta. Ozuna's got 9 home runs. Alonso's got 7 home runs behind him, too. There isn't a lot to say about Atlanta that I haven't said already. They just need to play better. Ozuna's hitting 344. He's got 9 homers, 29 RBIs. As a team, Atlanta's hitting 283, which isn't bad. Lopez is their pitcher. ERA is .72. They got a team ERA of 380, which is really, really good. Because most of the time, these teams are playing if their ERA is less than 4, they're doing a pretty good job. Milwaukee's Contreras is hitting 359, 21 RBIs. He's leading this team. Milwaukee's team batting average is 262, which isn't bad. Their ERA is 3.31, which is real good. So you can look for Milwaukee to play better hitting, but they're going to have their pitching for sure. Dodgers, we spoke about. Ohtani's hitting 371. Mookie Betts hitting 365. He also leads the team in homers with 6, RBIs with 21. Their team is hitting 268, which isn't bad. But their team ERA is 3.92, which sucks. Tyler Glasnow, the big stud they got from Tampa, has won 4 games. He's got a 2.92 ERA. Probably the best starter that they got. I don't know if Walker Buehler is ever going to come back. I'm not sure where Clayton Kershaw is either. So the Dodgers are in trouble if they can't start pitching to go better. So there isn't a lot to be said good about the Dodgers, except they have so much talent that they overwhelm everyone. Milwaukee's Yelich has 5 home runs. Freddie Peralta's got a 1.90 ERA. Really good. Let's see if I missed anything. Oh, Texas. As bad as they are, Adolis Garcia is hitting 312. You got 7 homers, 23 RBIs. He's leading their team. Nathan Eovaldi is 2-0, 3.30 ERA. He's leading the pitching side. Their batting averages is only 251. Sucks. The team ERA is 4.05. Texas lives by the first 2 guys on their team batting. That's Marcus Seaman and Corey Seager. Seager, one of my favorite players. Seaman's only hitting 257. Seager's only hitting 256. Both of those guys last year hit over 300 to pull the team through. They got to do a lot better than that. They're first and second in the lineup. So if you're a pitcher, you're facing Texas. If you make a mistake to one guy, next guy's going to kill you. If you don't make a mistake to one guy, the one guy is going to kill you. So they're very talented twosome. With Adonis Garcia batting 3rd or 4th, they're doing fine. The Yankees, nasty Nestor Cortez is a 3.41 ERA. Marcus Stroman is 2.93. Stroman was a free agent purchase. They got him for 2 years, $25 million or something like that. Their team ERA is 2.95, which is outstanding. But their team batting average is only 256. The Yankees are in first place because their ERA is so low. Their team batting averages suck. I mean, the big studs that are supposed to be multi-million-dollar players can't hit their weight. So I don't know where we're going with that. That's, outside of, there's not really any news going on, Daniel. Outside of that, you just got to look for people to stay healthy, get into the summer months when people can play better in the summer months.
Why do you think, when you look at this, and thank you, PJ has always given us a rundown of what's going on in the world of baseball, going through the standings, going through the statistics, and really, every single week giving you an opportunity to have a crash course in Major League Baseball and get you up to snuff with everything that's going on in the world of baseball. Why do you think when we look at, to go back to the standings, Chicago White Sox, they're the worst team in baseball. They're 3-21, like you said. The Houston Astros are 7-18. The Oakland Athletics are better than the both of them. What do you think's going on with Chicago White Sox? I know that they've had moments, but they're usually not this bad. So can you put your finger on anything that's going on with the Chicago White Sox, and then with the Houston Astros, a team that we are used to seeing in the playoffs, used to seeing vie for an opportunity at a World Series title? What's going on in the American League that we have Chicago as the worst team in all of baseball, including the National League, and that we have Houston at the bottom of the barrel in the AL West?
I'll comment on Houston first. Don't worry about Houston. They'll come back. They're too good. Altuve's leading the league in hitting, and they'll catch up very shortly. They just need better pitching. Verlander's supposed to pitch this year, and I don't know if he played this weekend because I didn't catch the result of him. I thought he was going to start on Saturday or Sunday, but I didn't catch it. To answer your question about the White Sox, their leading hitter is Gavin Sheets. He's only hitting 246. That's the leading hitter.
Yeah.
They're hitting 263 as a team. Paul DeJong's got 3 home runs. Sheets got 10 RBIs. Where are you going with this? They're not going anywhere with it. When their leading hitters are home runs are low and their RBIs are low, it's terrible. Now, if you get to the pitching, their team ERA is 5.20. Now, that tells you why they're 3-21. 5.20. If that was 4.20, they'd be a little bit better, but not that. They just can't get anyone out. They got a pitcher named Garrett Crochet. Don't know anything about him. He's 1-4. He got a 6.5 run ERA. They don't have anyone that's winning. They get a few guys. A few guys are 1-2, but their ERAs are low. High. So Chicago's not going to go anywhere until they get some pitching and hitting. I mean, it's a combination of both, Daniel. It's just a terrible team. It's unfortunate because they have a long history. I know Tony La Russa was just there a couple, 3 years ago, try to pull that team out. Their best player, Tim Anderson, got pirated away by the Miami Marlins. So Chicago's not going anywhere unless maybe they ought to raid their minor league teams for some hitters until they have some pitchers, until they lower the team ERA 5.20. Until they can lower that to at least 4.20, we'll be having the same conversation every week.
Yeah, and the other team to kind of just note really quick here, down in the state of Florida that you call home, the Miami Marlins, who made the postseason last season as a wild card team, they're 6-20 right now. What's your take on the Marlins and what's going on there? I mean, we've known that they could do some good things. They're kind of an enigma, right? They have their moments where they're good, then they have other moments where you kind of scratch it. They're kind of all over the place last year. Do you see the same of that this year? Do you think they're going to bounce back? I mean, we're early in the season, but they're 6-20. What's your take?
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Well, we can start with our hitting. If I can get some numbers here. Luis Arnaz is hitting .299. De La Cruz got 5 home runs. Jake Burger's got 15 RBIs. Their team batting average is terrible. I got to find it. But anyway, Josh Bell was an all-star when he was playing with Pittsburgh. He's a big guy. He's 6'5", 240, big guy. Plays first base, and he's a switch hitter. Now, you would think that Josh Bell would relish the opportunity to pitch against or to hit against some of the weakness in the National League, and he's not doing it. I mean, he's batting third or fourth in the lineup. He's only 179. I mean, this guy's a perennial all-star. He's a stud. So I don't know what to say other than that they're just sorry. They're hitting it. Their pitching, their TRA is 4.66. Trevor Rogers is their leader at 0-3. He's got a 4.10 ERA. They've had a couple guys win a couple of games, but their ERAs are over 6. It's the same formula that I was coming with Chicago White Sox. Their team batting average is low.
Yeah.
Their ERA is high. Until they get those things in the middle, they're not going anywhere. Now, Miami Marlins had a super player in Jazz Chisholm. He's a little guy, plays center field, runs like steals bases. He's only hitting .247, which isn't very good. So he needs to pick it up too. There's a lot of guys maybe that they ought to bench and maybe go to their farm system too. But it's a little bit early for that because you need to settle your rosters before the All-Star break. That's usually what I go by. Whoever's leading in the All-Star break is probably going to wind up being in the playoffs or winning their division. So, they have a month to figure it out, month and a half to figure it out. If next week we have the same conversation and they're not hitting or pitching very well, then we're gonna make the same comments then. That's all. They're not a very good team, Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see how these teams figure things out as they go. Like you said, getting to the All-Star break. Arizona, being a fan of the Diamondbacks since they came into the league, I've watched them have those moments, right, where they are really good for the first half and then not good for the back half of the season. You got to be good throughout. And like you said, setting your rosters, knowing what you have, know where you stand. There's teams that can make runs, and there's teams that obviously look different coming out of the All-Star break. But the hope is that you can have some positive consistency, right? And it's something that I always go back to what Dino Babers said. He said, be consistently good, not occasionally great. And that's what these teams have to really look to and have to focus on and have to get behind, is the fact that there's 162 games. So, yeah, you're going to have moments where you're going to have strife, and you're going to have moments where you're not that great, and you're going to go up and down. And there's teams that win 100 games that don't go anywhere. I mean, that happened last year with the Dodgers, right? So, I think what it comes down to is figuring out sooner than later who you need to lean on and who you need to let go of, and making the moves that you need to make, and just being really smart with your farm system and just different transactions that you can make if you see somebody in somebody else's farm system. Teams have to be, what they say, if you're not 2 steps ahead, you're a step behind. So they have to constantly be looking. There's teams that can put together a good roster, but it's inconsistent. Arizona is 2 games under 500, yet their bats have brought about 17 runs and 15 runs in games this season. So, they can go really, really hot, then they can go quiet. But the question is, can they be consistent at getting 5 runs, 7 runs? And for that, and then playing really good defense to come out of these games with victories. So it's early on in the season. We're seeing different things happen, but Mike Trout is still Mike Trout, which is beautiful. He's on a team that's, just doesn't make the playoffs. Made the playoffs once since he's been there, but hopefully that'll change this season for him. I feel terrible for him. When you watch players, men and women, on professional teams that are incredible, and as a team, they don't go anywhere, and then you look back on that and you're kind of sad for them, because they're these amazing talents that you hope people remember forever, and at the same time, they're not going anywhere. So I hope for the best for the Mike Trout, and as he steps forward, that there's going to be some good moves, and that the Angels are going to be advantageous about doing some things. PJ, we got a minute or two here to jump to the NFL. The Jacksonville Jaguars on the prowl, baby. They will be drafting with 8 picks this year. They have a pick tonight as the draft begins at 8 p.m., April 25th. Of course, our mock draft at Pizza Man, where we go picks 1 through 32 of the entire first round, happens tonight on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville, New York, with Al Romano and myself. The Jaguars will be drafting 17th overall and in round 1. Then they will have 48th overall in round 2. They were awarded the NFL's highest compensatory pick of the draft, getting the 96th overall pick, which is in the 3rd round, and it's a compensatory pick, which is awesome. Talk about compensatory picks coming later on. They got a 3rd round compensatory pick. In round 4, they have picks 114 and 116. In round 5, 153. They have another compensatory pick in round 6, which is 212, and in round 7, 236. So they have a pick in every single round of this draft, and they were given, like I said, the highest compensatory pick of the year with a 3rd round pick, 96 overall. So, PJ, your thoughts on the Jaguars? What are you hearing with your ear to the ground? You're in northern Florida. They're in northern Florida. We've seen Mitchell, the cornerback, be put out there. We've seen Jared Verse, the edge rusher. There's been different names that have shown up. Some people are thinking defensive line. Some people are thinking wide receiver. Some people are thinking corner. What are you hearing in the northern Florida area?
Well, the latest is that the Jaguars are targeting a cornerback from Toledo called Quinion Mitchell.
Yep.
And I had to look him up, and he's serious. Serious. I think that there's so many corners in this league. Probably several of them are going to wind up being taken in the first round. I don't know if he's going to last to 17, because I guess the other teams are on him too. But if he doesn't last, I think there's still Brian Thomas, the wide receiver from LSU. I think they had a target on him. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. I know he's got a buddy on the other side of the line that's just as good, neighbors, but I like Thomas a lot. Terry Arnold, who I liked last week, is my first-round pick. Malik Neighbors is the other LSU guy on the offensive line. But you got so many cornerbacks. You got Nate Wiggins, Kool-Aid McCarthy from Bama, Enos Rexroth from Missouri, and the one I thought of a couple months ago when I said, watch this kid, Cooper DeJean from Iowa. He got hurt, and I think that hurts is going to hurt his draft status. But I still think he'll be at number 1. But I don't think the Jaguars need to go any farther than this. Get the cornerback. There's so many of them now. Get a good cornerback, and then figure out what the rest of the team is.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Jacksonville, they need some help in the secondary. They made some moves. They also brought in Ronald Darby and they brought in Darnell Savage. And Savage is looking to be, as far as what I'm seeing on the depth chart, a hybrid where he could play corner or safety, and then Darby coming in as a corner. So they do have some vets coming in. I don't know if I want them to spend that pick. They've been known to draft corners early. Some of them have worked out. Some of them have been inconsistent. And to me, I'd rather see them address the offensive and defensive line. They need a lot of help on the defensive line. They need guys to rotate. They need depth. They need depth at offensive line because the guys get hurt every year. But they did do something, PJ, and we call it speak it into existence, right? You talk something into existence, you believe in something, you put that good energy out there. And the energy I put out there was what? I said Jaguars needed to re-sign who? Offensive lineman, hybrid guy, guard and center, who's been loyal to them and they're loyal to him. They just re-signed him, Tyler motherfreaking Shatley. So I'm very excited that Tyler's going to be back on the offensive line. He's one of the old heads in the locker room, and I'm really happy that he's there. And so that's been a good sign. But they need help on the offensive line. They need help on the defensive line. Really, that's where they need to address the draft. I mean, they're going to see what's at 17. I've seen some mock drafts say that the Buffalo Bills trade with the Jaguars and take 17 so they can take a wide receiver, and the Jaguars trade down to 28 and they, get other draft capital from it. But this is going to be really interesting to see what Jacksonville does. Do they go for an edge rusher? Do they go for an interior D lineman? Do they go for an offensive lineman in general? Cam Robinson, he's gone through injury. He's been there for a while, but he's been suspended. He's gone through injury. He's the left tackle. Are they going to address that need? Are they going to look to the future at left tackle? They could look at corner. They could look at wide receiver. I think the way that they need to address this draft is from the inside out. Offensive and defensive line, then look at wide receiver and corner. And I'm totally fine if they spend the draft just on the line. Just off. I mean, you got 3 picks in the first 96, and they could be really smart about 17, 48, and 96, and they can get themselves some good defensive and offensive linemen there. So, we're going to see what the draft brings to them. The good thing is the Jaguars aren't looking for a quarterback, and so they won't do a run on that, and they don't need a running back. They could bring in another wide receiver, but really Jacksonville, quarterback, running back, linebacker-wise, they're in good tight end-wise, they're in good shape. So this is a draft where you address the offensive and defensive line, your secondary, and maybe another wide receiver. But there's some good things going on. By the way, PJ, at GG Cards and Breaks yesterday on 639 Del Mar Place in Syracuse, my sports card shop of choice, I went in there yesterday and found a Gabe Davis, who's a new receiver on the Jaguars, who I covered when he was at college at UCF down in Orlando. I came home yesterday with an autographed card of Gabe Davis, the new receiver in Jacksonville.
All right. Good job with that.
So,
Jacksonville is going to be a little bit different than with defense this year. With Nielsen coming in, he likes to play more man-to-man, not the zone kind of stuff. So I think he'd be looking for athletes back there. That's why I think that's why they're pumping this area at least for cornerbacks. And the Mitchell kid he's a North Florida kid, comes from a little podunk town called Williston, so he could be coming home. This is really strong up here. What they're talking about the last couple of days is Quinion Mitchell.
Yeah, and he's a name that's been consistent over the weeks here. So we shall see what happens as the Jacksonville Jaguars get set to pick 17th tonight in the 2024 NFL Draft. PJ, as always, I appreciate you tremendously. Got nothing but love for you, MT, Joey, and of course, Boom Boom and Marissa, those wonderful cats down in Florida. We look forward to seeing you soon and to talking with you soon, and I'll see you on the other side of the draft.
Okay, I got it. One other thing I want to throw at you.
Go ahead.
6 months ago, I told you that this guy was a serious quarterback and was going to be drafted early. And I haven't changed my opinion on him, and that's Bo Nix. Watched him play at Auburn. He went to Oregon. He killed it for 5 years. He's 24 years old. No one needs to teach him anything except the new offensive system. He wouldn't be a rookie as we call him. Look for him to go high.
Yeah, PJ Bo Nix. I mean, there's a chance. Listen, Denver needs a quarterback. Minnesota needs a quarterback. New England needs a quarterback. Chicago needs a quarterback. Washington needs a quarterback. There's at least 5 teams that need a quarterback. So, with the first 3 being some connection of, I shouldn't even say connect, but with the first 3 being in some iteration of Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Drake May, we're looking at, outside of that, Minnesota. I think they're going to go for J.J. McCarthy. I think they're going to trade up, but J.J. could fall to them. And then, you could look at Michael Penix and Seattle needs a quarterback. So you could look at Michael Penix. You could look at Bo Nix. There's a chance we could see 5 or 6 quarterbacks go in the first round because guys are going after people, and we know Penix can do some really good things. You talk about Bo Nix all the time. J.J. McCarthy, I like what I've seen from him. Watched some film on him recently here. And, I'm a fan of, I covered Drake May at North Carolina in my coverage of the ACC. I saw Caleb Williams live. Jaden Daniels is the guy that I really have to spend more time with, but it's between him and Drake May for the second pick. So we shall see here tonight. But my mock draft's coming up tonight. We're going to see what happens. PJ's got Bo Nix getting out there. Michael Penix, look for them all to maybe hear their name in the first round. And there's going to be some trades. I think that's definitely going to happen in my opinion. So with that being said, PJ, I wish you a beautiful day in sunny Florida, and I look forward to connecting with you. And I'll send you a text message. I'll take a picture, send it over to you from our mock draft tonight as we go live in our draft headquarters of Pizza Man Pub with some awesome wings and pizza while we figure out what we think is going to happen in the NFL draft.
Yeah, you guys have fun with that.
All right, take care. Have a good night. Take care. See you. That coming from Papa Joe. And have a good day and a good morning. I know I say I had a good night. I think it's because I'm thinking of the draft. But with that being said, we're going to take our final step aside and wrap up the show right after this, after you hear from our fantastic partners in Central and Upstate New York. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career, it's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, located on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is your sports card and hobby shop. Every single day of the week they're open, Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6, and on Sundays from 10 to 5. You'll find them on 639 Delmar Place, right off of Teal Avenue. Hockey, basketball, baseball, football, soccer, all sport, AEW, UFC, as well as Disney Lorcana and Pokemon. While supplies last, they have a vast array of amazing products. They just brought in a ton of graded cards. They sent a bunch of things out to get graded. I just bought one yesterday. Bought a Donovan McNabb rookie graded card, 9 out of 10. So make sure you go to GG Cards and Breaks, see their singles, their graded cards, their packs, their boxes. You can try your luck with a pack or a box, open it up and see what you get, or you can look through their display cases and find something that you want to take home. They have a ton of new arrivals, baseball, basketball, and football cards. I was going through those boxes yesterday, picked out some awesome things, including that Gabe Davis autograph card, and you could find a lot of wonderful surprises inside of those boxes, as well as the only sports card shop that I know that has every MLB, NFL, and NBA team having their own box. So you can go, I can go there as a Toronto Raptor, Jacksonville Jaguar, Arizona Diamondback fan, and find my team in a box, and there's a bunch of cool stuff in there. It's not just base cards. There's rookies. There might be some numbered cards, some patch cards, some autograph cards, awesome refractors, great things that I found in those boxes searching for my favorite team. They go the extra mile and then 10 miles beyond that. GG Cards and Breaks is a special place with special people, and I want to thank Josh, Anthony, and the entire team, Alex, Joel, everybody, for the work that you put in and everything that you do. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support of our community, and I appreciate your love for the hobby that helped to give me something that I never thought that I would have again after I had it as a kid. So much love to the good people at GG Cards and Breaks that help us all feel like big kids. 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, I want to thank you for watching and listening today. We did Friday and Thursday's show together because we got a huge special coming up tomorrow for Friday's broadcast. So the annoying moment of the week came to you a day early, presented by Carvel DeWitt. Lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver. The acronym came to you a day early, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. And also a day early, the top dog of the week, honoring our community for the way that you have honored Michael Jensen, Lieutenant Michael Husak, all law enforcement, first responders, and those putting their lives on the line for us, and the families of Michael Jensen and Lieutenant Michael Husak. Thank you, and God bless you all for all that you've done. My community is my top dog of the week. And, of course, a big-time thanks to Papa Joe and our conversation about the LPGA and Nelly Corda, as well as the PGA and Scotty Scheffler and Major League Baseball, the NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and getting you set for tonight where we're going to be out at Pizza Man. Big time thanks from Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory for telling us what's popping every single show that we have here Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And you will find us tonight. We have been out in the community all throughout this week, and that continues tonight. We've had a trifecta of shows tic-tac-toeing each other here this week. We had a show on Tuesday at Pizza Man, yesterday at Heritage Hill North, and we're back at Pizza Man tonight, and we cannot wait to see you. We will be at Pizza Man tonight to bring the draft to you. The NFL Draft coming your way as Al Romano and I sit down for a wake-up call special that we entitle Off the Rails with Al, and that Off the Rails with Al Draft Edition comes to you tonight from Pizza Man, 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville, New York. Al Romano, college football national champion who won a championship with Tony Dorsett, is a member of the Pittsburgh Panthers, coming from our central and upstate New York community and going over to Solvay. He joins me tonight on stage at Pizza Man. We're going to be eating pizza and wings with all of you as we give you our first round mock draft. Al and I giving you who we think will be picked 1 through 32, predicting the entire first round, and then watching the draft with you all tonight, Thursday, April 25th. Our live mock draft happens with you at 6 p.m., and then at 8 p.m., the draft will officially begin on the televisions at Pizza Man Pub. So if you want to know what it feels like to be in a live draft headquarters, Pizza Man Pub is your place tonight as Al and I take over the stage to bring the draft to you. Pizza, wings, awesome drinks, and a fantastic conversation coming your way. Bring your mock draft paper. Are you like ours? Are you different? Let's talk about it tonight, on site, on location at Pizza Man Pub. Our Wake Up Call Draft Edition is coming to you tonight, Thursday, April 25th at 6 p.m. with Al Romano and myself, Dan Tortora. You can watch and listen on youtube.com and facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT if you're out of town, and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com, internet streaming radio worldwide. With that being said, thanks for watching and listening to Wake Up Call, Monday through Friday on those same channels, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, on youtube.com and facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com, and of course, for being with us on all of our channels, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, as well as Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you have to do to find us is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. So make sure that you get in touch, follow us, and subscribe on those channels for free. And a big time thanks to our incredible partners. You can go and visit all of these wonderful places: Carvel DeWitt's, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, GG Cards and Breaks, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Pizza Man, Great Lakes Honda City, Mother's Cupboard, and of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne College Dolphins. It's Fins Up every single month with the Dolphins. You will find them here on Wake Up Call during Dolphin Time, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. First and third Wednesday of each month, AD and DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, giving you a behind-the-scenes look at the Dolphins and a ton of exclusive content over the years here. So make sure that you're here with us for AD and DT every single month. And, of course, for the Dolphin Dive, diving into stories of student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni. You will find the Dolphin Dive the second and fourth Wednesday of each month with awesome, awesome content with our wonderful Dolphins. And, of course, you could find all of these specials on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out our Lemoyne Dolphins playlist that has every single one of our videos right there for you to click on and go throughout history to watch our specials, so you'll never miss a special again. And, of course, the Dolphins are on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage and on the Exclusive Partners tab. You can also find 2 exclusive first stories with the Dolphins on the fact that the Lemoyne women's basketball job is now vacant and open, and Lemoyne is immediately looking into their next leader. That exclusive first story is on wakeupcalldt.com, so you can click on the articles page. It's on the homepage right now as well. And of course, on the homepage, you can also find our exclusive first story of who the co-acting coaches for head coach are currently in this period of looking for the next head coach, that Joanna Dabrowski as well as Katie Kalinsky are the co-acting head coaches of Lemoyne Dolphins women's basketball Division I program. All of that content on the homepage, so make sure you check out that exclusive first content with the Lemoyne Dolphins. And you can get more information on the Dolphins by going to LemoyneDolphins.com. And as always, fins up. The Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, with 2 locations very easy to get to. You can find Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse on James Street in Syracuse, New York, as well as right off of Route 57 in Liverpool, New York, with a ton of wonderful majors and wonderful opportunities and great job placement after you have your degree from Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse, with so much there, as well as an opportunity to uniquely connect in the student-athlete world if you have some eligibility left. The Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse give you a wonderful scholastic, unique opportunity, as well as a wonderful opportunity to be with the men's and women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, baseball, or esports team. So we appreciate everything the head coaches are doing. Mary Hawkins and the entire staff there that is putting everything together, as Mary is the director for both campuses in Syracuse and Liverpool. There are tremendous leaders, tremendous student athletes, and people that will give so much of their heart at Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse. It's an honor and a privilege to be their exclusive multimedia marketing partner. We call our specials the Bobcat Buzz, and we got a baseball one coming up for you in just a few days, so make sure that you stay very close to our social media to find out when you're going to hear from the baseball squad finishing up their second season ever after their inaugural season of last year. You could find the Bobcats by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell. And, of course, you could find the BSC Syracuse playlist on our YouTube channel. The Bobcats are also on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You will find the Bearcats during Bearcat Time every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Our specials that air every month are Moments with Marshall, featuring Gene Marshall, the athletics director of Binghamton University, giving us a behind-the-scenes look at athletics and Binghamton as a whole. And our Bearcat Break Room segments, bringing you student-athletes, coaches, and administration stories to connect you and give you that truly heartfelt, unique, special, sitting on a couch, feeling like you're right there with them feel to the Binghamton University Bearcats. So a lot of great stuff with the Bearcats. You can find all of our content by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you'll find our Binghamton playlist on our YouTube channel. You can also find the Bearcats on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage, where you'll currently find our exclusive first story on Mary Grimes taking the job at Binghamton University after being a head coach for 3 seasons at Lemoyne. She moves downstate, down I-81, about an hour from Syracuse, where Lemoyne is, to Binghamton University in Vestal to become their newest women's basketball head coach. That exclusive first story was released on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in our partnership with Binghamton University. You can find that on our homepage of wakeupcalldt.com and on our articles tab as well on wakeupcalldt.com. You can also find the Bearcats on the exclusive partners tab on wakeupcalldt.com. For more information, go to bubearcats.com, and as always, go Bearcats. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, thanks to Carvel for the annoying moment of the week. Thanks to Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay for lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver. Thank you to Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding for the top dog of the week. Big time thanks to Papa Joe. Thank you to you. And go and check out our exclusive first story articles. We released 3 of them yesterday, all centered around Mary Grimes going from Lemoyne to Binghamton the co-acting head coaches in Katie Kalinsky and Joanna Dabrowski, and the job opening up immediately at Lemoyne for their new women's basketball head coach. So a lot of great stuff. Check it all out on wakeupcalldt.com, Facebook at wakeupcalldt, X at calldt, Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. You know what it is, folks. God bless. No stress. Do your best. We'll see you tonight at Pizza Man for a truly unique, immersive NFL draft experience. We can't wait. God bless you and have a great day.